Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And in part 2 of the Heroes Jubilee XIII, I guess, strategy set, we will now be covering the boss fights. This is coming a couple days after, so I apologize again for being so late in uploading these Jubilee videos. I just got caught up in a few things in life and forgot to upload and edit everything, so they are coming a few days late. Normally I would post the Jubilee video like the day after or the second day, which today would be the second day, but I don't even think the first Jubilee video is up as I'm recording this. But again, I apologize, but it is up and it goes until I think Thursday, so it's not like you're out of time. You can definitely get it done and at least get some kind of score. But anyways, moving on. We're now going into the boss fights. These are my current scores right now. I'm only going to be showing you the teams that I used for EX, because obviously if they work for EX, then they're going to work just fine for 3 and 2. So it's the hardest stage. It'll give you an idea of what to do. The only real difference is that the kill turn on EX is turn 9, while boss 3 and 2 are turn 8. So it is a little bit harder, but you do get one extra turn to get as many buffs as you possibly can. So let's get started with the first team, and that will be the space team, because why not? It's type neutral and it's a long event. You're gonna obliterate with the space team. So let's go ahead and bring that up right here. So you got to play around with your units in this fight, in all these fights, because every 2 turns she debuffs you and increases or decreases the amount of crit damage that you actually do to a unit. This is the light team. Why is this the light team? Never mind. What is happening here? Is it light team? No. Okay, I'm losing my damn mind. Alright, anyways. Every 2 turns, your frontline units get nerfed, and it just stacks and stacks and stacks until your crits do absolutely no damage. So, you have to swap out your DPS every other turn. So, turn 1, you can bring, I'm going to bring Milim in here, and she will be our primary focus for getting her ult. Stacking with Veldora, I don't know why I thought I had the light team. I saw Rimuru and I was weirded out. Alright, so I have Orb Chains of Rimuru. The 5 greens do give us our first Veldora meter, so that's very good right there. And now, turn 2. The end of turn 2, your units will get nerfed, so I need to move Milim out. So let's pop Veldora, let's start stacking up that space damage, and then we will get her out of here. It really doesn't matter because we're all nuking with Milim, so whatever you put on the front line, make use of traits, I guess. But just know that after she hits you here, you will be debuffed. So your attacks will do less damage, your crits will do less damage, and that will continue to stack. Oranges are nerfed almost all the way through this fight, so bring some orb changers. I've got Shuna here to change to blues. Rimuru will change 1 orange to a green if you need it. Really here, we're looking to stack and get as many blue orbs as possible, which could work here. So we're going to pop the orb change, and then we're going to pray that we can get some more blues. So turn 3 is the safe turn. Every odd turn is a safe turn. So we're going to bring Milim back in. We're going to keep on trying to get her ult. We have another meter of Veldora ready to go. So turn 4 comes up. We can pop that and then get her back out. So every odd turn, you can have your DPS online. And every even turn, they need to be out. Because you don't want that debuff. Because you want your crits to do as much damage as possible and not be nerfed by 30, 50, 80%. So we're going to gamble here. We're going to send 2 oranges and pray that we get extra blues. And we kind of do. It kind of worked. So we're going to orb change again with Shuna, get a 5-card send of blues, but it's actually a 6-card send of all Shuna, so it actually worked out pretty well. So we have an entire hand of Milim now, which means that we have our ult, we have 153 points, and we have another stack of Veldora. So it worked pretty well. So now that we have her ult, we can pop Drago, and we can pop the space boost, and then we don't have to worry about her again until we get another stack of Veldora, bring her in, then swap her out immediately. So let's do that now. So Drago and space boost. Technically, we could have also popped the Pierce boost as well from Xion, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. We'll have enough points by turn 9 to use everything. So we've gotten Milim back out because it is turn 6. Again, even turns are bad for your DPS. And now we just have to work on getting enough points, getting more stacks of Veldora so we can do as much damage as possible. So right here, I'm a little concerned on what to do. The oranges are nerfed for one more turn, so 7 turns of nerfed oranges is not great. So definitely Orb Changer is going to be your friend. If you don't want to bring Xion and you want a little bit less RNG, you can 100% bring like Rimuru or Geld. That can definitely work. But this is the try-hard strat. Like, you want major buffs, and you're looking for RNG on your orbs mostly. So again, we're looking for stacks and points, so we don't need to bring Milim in anymore until we get another stack of Veldora. We've used the rewind to buy us a little bit extra time for another stack here. It kind of worked out, so we got blues, or we can send the hero. Whatever will get us enough points and another stack. We have a Shuna ult that we can use. Not that it does very much, because again, she's been nerfed pretty much this entire time. And Milim has a decent amount of defense, so we're going to use the hero cards. That gets us, maximum points, another stack of Veldora. Look at this entire hand of Xion right here. So what can we do? We can bring Milim in for the hero, yes, or Xion. What are we doing here? I think it'd be better for me to bring in for the hero, but looks like I maybe misplayed that. So now when we come in, we lost the 6-card send, and now we have a 5-card send. Unfortunate, terrible misplay on my part, but whatever. We got another stack of Veldora. We can send this. We're going to have plenty of points to nuke next turn. So we'll just use that. We'll do as much damage as possible. I hope we send that. I hope we send that ult. I think I'm debating how much damage she'll actually do. Spoiler alert, it's not a lot. It does like 8,000 maybe? 5,000? Something like that. She's not getting the space stack, so we don't send it. Unfortunate. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, so we're on turn 9. We are on the kill turn. We have 238 points, which is more than enough. So here, we can go ahead and pop Shuna's ult boost, eventually, whenever I decide to do that. There we go. So, ult boost. And now we can move her out. She has 4 orbs, so we're going to have a couple attacks with Milim to bring in. Also going to do the Pierce resistance down, another reason why Rimuru is here. And then we'll bring in Milim for Shuna, and we lost one of her orbs. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, it is what it is. So, now let's bring in Xion for Rimuru, since we've used his skill. And now let's pop the Pierce, let's pop the crit. And we've got everything, right? We've got the ult boost. We've already have the space boost and Drago from earlier on in the fight. We now have every single buff available. And now we're going to send 4 orbs. Hopefully Milim doesn't kill on these. And she guarded one, so that's unfortunate. Otherwise, we would have been even lower on the health bar. But we end up doing 201,000 damage, which is pretty good. Pretty good. You could definitely get higher if you had more stacks of Milim or Veldora. If you had more Milim orbs to send, maybe if he didn't guard, or she didn't guard that second to last hit with Milim, my score would have been a little bit better. But 28,067, that is my current high score on EX with the Space Team. So definitely, if you have it, it will work fantastically. You could bring Carrion instead of Rimuru, instead of the Pierce resistance down. You could definitely, bring him for his crit damage, and then his double orb changing as well will go well with Shuna. Always an option. But let's move on to the next team that I have ready for you. Alright, so the newest team, the water meta, right? So we've got Milim. We've got Alice for the orb change. We've got, and the Pierce. We've got Shion because of her double support and trait and everything else. Rimuru for the orb changing. Shuna for the nuke. We're not going to use Velzard. And then we've also got Rimuru, Space Rimuru here for his attack boost. So because my Velzard will most likely not hit as hard as a fully boosted Shuna right here, because she has 92 boosted stats and all that, even with her own attack boost and frostbite. I think we do more damage with this 92 Shuna than we do with my Noodle. So let's go ahead and start this up. It's the same principle, right? Stacks on stacks of Water Millum, and then enough to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big buffs from Alice, Shion, Rimuru, and Shuna herself. And then Rimuru's here, or Water Rimuru's here because he's a pretty good orb changer. And since we're playing around with swapping units in and out, we can definitely play around with, bringing him in for the most orbs and then turning all of his into blues and then changing with blues between him and Shuna can do that very, very well. So, turn 1 right here, we can't use Alice's orb change because she changes blues to greens, not oranges to greens. That would be Soei's job. So we're just going to have to deal with it. So, we're checking to make sure that no, she does not do what I want her to do here. But it works out just fine. So let's go ahead and bring in Shuna. She is going to be our nuker, so I want to make sure that we get her in as much as possible. So we're going to send, and send. And again, every 2 turns, the front line gets nuked, or nerfed, so you have to swap her out. That is a very unfortunate hand right there. But we can make it work. Because Rimuru can come in and change all of his orbs to orange, or to blue, right? So we're going to do that. And then we're going to swap Alice out. Nope. We're going to orb change a little bit first. There we go. So we've changed his orbs into blue. And then the leftover we will change with Shuna before getting her out. And now the front line is fine. Shuna will not be nerfed. And we have a 6-card of blue. So that's how you would make Rimuru work. And now we've got 2 stacks of Millum ready to go. So next turn we can bring Shuna back in, get her some orbs, and 2 stacks. So we're looking good so far. Alright. Alted right here for 4,000. And there is the nerf right there. So now we can bring Shuna in probably for Space Rimuru, since he has the most orbs. And then we can probably do a full orb change with Rimuru and Shuna herself. We'll get Alice out. We'll bring Shion back in because she does have the trait extra protection gauge every 2 turns. So we'll definitely help out. Get 2 stacks on Shuna. And then I believe we do a full orb change because we definitely have enough points to do it. No, we don't have enough points. Okay, so we have a 5-card send. But again, we now have 200% extra skill points from blues, so even 5 blues will get us a decent amount. We're back up to 134 points, so we're not hurting. Alright, take another nuke. Shuna gets attacked. They are not quite as tanky as my space team because they're mostly 100. So we don't have an ult yet, so we just have to keep working on it. We're going to do some more orb changing here. Alright, and then we'll do that. Got another 5-card send. We will get Shuna out again, avoiding the nerf. And then we'll just send 5 blues, and we'll keep building that up. We'll get Rimuru in here. I don't know why I brought him in instead of, and left Shion, or didn't leave Shion. I'm not quite sure what I was doing there. Moment of insanity, I guess. Alright. What does the hand look like now? Okay, we can make that work. We can definitely make that work. So we're going to change all his orbs to blue, which is going to be the 1 green. And then we can bring Shuna in for Rimuru, and then use her orb change, and get another hand of blues. And we're also going to bring Shion in for her trait on turn 6. So there's an orb change, and then here's another stack of Millum. it's a long event. You're just stacking, right? Getting blues, very, very important. Very, very easy with this team because of Rimuru and Shuna being such good orb changers. So we're definitely going to get more stacks than we did with the space team, but that space team had, what, one orb changer, and it was a single orb, and it wasn't even to orange or blues. So a little bit more RNG required for that. If my Velzard was 100, I'm fairly certain that, I mean, this water team could work very, very well and could rival the score that I got for the space team. But I don't. So you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Okay. So here we've again swapped out Shuna. Gonna use some more orb changing shenanigans. Alright. It didn't quite go how I wanted it to, but again, we will live. We're still not hurting for points. 273, even though we used 2 skills that cost quite a pretty penny. Okay. So now, I believe we already have an ult for Shuna, if I'm not mistaken. I think I remember that happening. So we don't even need to bring her in again. We just need more points and more stacks. So what do we do here? Because we need I think we're, counting the skill points. We need like 280 points or something like that to do everything that I want. So that's 110, that's 110, that's 220. 280, we need 290 points or something like that? 295 to do everything? It's a lot. We need a lot of skill points for this team. Thankfully, we get them. Alright, so we're now on turn 8. We can get another stack of Milim on Shuna. So we could nuke here if we wanted to. Definitely could. And do I? I don't know if I actually do or not. I think I might push another turn to turn 9. Your score will also depend on... Okay, no, we're nuking here. So if you're ready to, and you have enough points, and you're not confident that you'll get another stack of Milim, you can definitely nuke on turn 8. You'll take less damage, which will also help your score. But if you're close to another Milim gauge, maybe wait till turn 9, get another 10% stack in, and then send it. So here we're gonna send the greens, Shuna, again with the guarding of one of my major hits, and then we'll watch her ult. How much does she do here? I don't think she does quite as much as Milim did. 128, so yeah, definitely not as much. Milim did like 200k, so definitely a slight difference in power right there. But our final score ends up being 24-2, which, I mean, it's 4,000 less than my maximum score. So, yeah, it's a sizable chunk. It's still a decent score for everything once everything's said and done, right? And if you got lucky and you could get, and you know, your Velzard's 100, you can definitely use that. If we get another mainline DPS next week for water, then that will, oh, it'll be out beside, it'll be after this Jubilee is over. So if you have a good Velzard, maybe use her instead to nuke. But 24,000, definitely a good score for EX if you're not like trying to be super sweaty. Let's test out the last team that I tried and had moderate success with. Alright, the last team that we're going to use is the light team. Shizu changes 3 and 3 to greens. We've got the Pierce power. We know that Xion is a very good powerhouse. We've got Shuna on here for the ult boost and her orb changing. The hero is here for the rewind and crits. Leon for the support. Rimuru for the support. So this team is not about stacking our damage. It's about using as many skills as we can in the first 3 turns to build up that Pierce power, and then just coasting until turn 8 or turn 9 when you have enough points and you have the setup that you need. Because this I think requires a little bit more big brain power to run because of how you need to get all 3 of the buffs on Xion. So let's just go into the fight. So you need to get you need to use like every single low-cost skill that you can in the first 3 turns, and then you need to get enough points where you can pop Shion's attack boost and Leon's light boost, and then send her away and never bring her back again. And then you need to wait until turn 8 or 9, have a double Shizu meter and 100 points. And the rewind. You have to use the rewind late. Because you have to rewind, use skills, pop the alt boost, and then when the rewind hits, you bring Shion in, who's going to have the alt boost, and you have enough points again from that 6-card send of green to get the crit boost. So thankfully right here, we have 2 single orb changers, and we have enough points to use it. So we can actually get a 6-card send of green turn 1, which is great, because it means we have a bunch of skill points to use a bunch of skills on turn 2. And that's already 2 skills burned, right? So we're already building up the Pierce power and the Pierce rate for Shizu and Shion. So now we'll bring Leon in, and then we'll use his orb change. We'll use Shuna's orb change. We'll use Reimer's orb change again, because why not? Just more skills to use. I can't use the Pierce resistance down yet, because we kind of want to use that later for full effect, right? So unfortunately, the Shuna orb change kind of did me dirty, and I didn't think about it very well, because it changed out of being a full card send for Shizu. But hey, us getting Shizu here is not nearly as important as it is for the water and space team with the stacks, because we don't increase our skill cap. We don't stack up major attack boosts with Shizu. We just need to use skill points. So I'm okay with changing out, because we have, 6 more turns to make up for it. We just need to get Shion's ult. So let's use another orb change here. Just keep on stacking those skills. And then, again, we're always keeping in mind that on the odd turns, we have our DPS. On even turns, we switch her out so she doesn't get nerfed. So always keep that in mind. Counters are nice. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so let's take Shion out. And now let's coast, alright? We're going to try and make it so we can send enough orbs of whoever that I'm going to swap Shion in for that we can get her ult. In this case, that would Shuna, who would have the most orbs. And we got counters, so cool. Now, let's bring Shion in. I wouldn't be too terribly afraid of using Shizu. I think we do it here, just for the 6-card send. Or we don't. We don't. She does have Pierce resistance up, but she loses that on turn 8, so you don't have to worry about that. But here, we finally have the ult with Shion, so we're going to pop the light boost, and then we're going to send her away. And she will never, ever, ever return to the field until we're ready to nuke. Oh, actually, that's not true. We pop her attack boost somewhere down the line, and then send her away again. I think once we get more points. So, good hand right here. We have a 5-card of greens. So, what do? Do we just send the greens here? We do, okay. We're doing not good damage. But, slowly taking her down. Turn 7 now. So we have 66 points. So let's bring Shion... Okay, here we go. Let's bring Shion back in for Leon. Get his ult out of here. No? Oh, we're gonna... No? What are we gonna do here? What game are we playing now? It really doesn't matter. We just need to pop Shion's attack boost and then send her away again. We're also going to pop the Pierce resistance down because it lasts for 2 turns, so it will be there on turn 9 when we actually are ready to nuke. But here's the important part. We need to have 2 Shizus, or at least enough to get another Shizu after the rewind. And we need 100 points, or very, very close to 100 points. Because we need enough points to use the rewind and the alt boost on turn 9 by themselves. Which right here not as ideal as I want it to be, because now we have 2 ults, and that's taking away from our pure hand of greens. So we're still going to use the rewind and the alt boost, turn 9. So go ahead and do that, do that. We will pop Shizu here, because we will get another Shizu from this 6-card send, even though there are only 4 greens. The ults will count. And we'll do more damage, because there's ults. So we'll take her health down. We're not going to kill her. They don't do enough damage. They're not buffed at all. Yeah, they have Pierce, that's cool and all, but they don't have any like major attack buffs that will greatly increase their damage. So Rimuru does 19-4. Shuna does 22. She does more than Rimuru. Alright, so her health is pretty low now. But the important part is this right here. The rewind. Turn 9.5, because we now have 61 points, which is just enough to use the crit boost from the hero. And now Xion, right here, has her own attack boost. She has the light boost. She now has a crit boost, and she has the ult boost, and she's got guaranteed Pierce now. Because we've played around with the hand, and we've got a 6-card send of greens, of which we're not going to send all of that because we would kill. Because Xion is quite buffed. So I think I just send 1 because I'm too afraid, but I could have sent more. Because she didn't do as much as I thought she would. But she does 143 too, which I think is actually more than what Shuna did with all those stacks of water attack. So, definitely can work out, and our score ends up being, 25-7, which is higher than the 24, 20 that we got with the water team. So the light team can be a viable option, as long as you remember how to big brain it and get all those buffs active. But those are the 3 teams I had the most success with. You can't really use Hakuro here, because, oranges are nerfed for so many turns. You could definitely use Cabby or Veldora and use the wind team if you want. That's always an option. I didn't try it out, but if you have it, why not? Cabby is really good at stacking. You bring, Valentine and get those greens, and you could make good work, and you can get some big buffs in if you're going to nuke with Hakuro or Diablo or something. But really, the long fight, it's meant for stacking effects. The light team, because it's so powerful, can make that work pretty well. And then the space team and water team are built for stacking events like this. So here is the 3 boss fights that I did for you. Let me know if these helped you out in the comments below. But that's it for the Jubilee 13 video segment. That's it for me. Take it easy, and I'll see you later.